dum dum. It's time to start the show. Chicka chicka. It's time to start the show. It's time to start the show. It's time to draw. I'm taking forever. It's time to draw. It's time to draw. Brandon's waiting to say hello. I'm listening to Brandon type. It's fucking annoying.
I'm getting out my colored pencils. Ah, you're on crack tonight. I'm glad I hit that Skype button.
Music still playing. Brandon can't hear the music. Bum, 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 bum. My music comes back. Do, 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 do. Bet you all thought it was over. Do, do. Alright, for real now. I'll fade it out. Fade. Aren't you glad you called?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't actually going to stream anything, then Brandon called. I'm like, oh, this will be fun. People like when Brandon shows up. Not for reasons why Brandon likes talking, but, you know. We all have our agendas. So, welcome to SketchCraft Live. I'm Rob Duenas. Joining me is Mega Potato, Brandon Heavy. Brandon Heavy, that's fucked up. Brandon Lead Heavy. Say hi, Brandon.
Yay, hi. Lead heavy, yes.
Yeah.
Mega potato, no.
Hashtag Mega Potato. It's on Twitter. It's a thing now. People are doing it. It's true. It's true. All right.
So, what are we streaming tonight, Rob?
Tonight, I'm supposed to work on freelance, and I don't want to. I don't want to work on freelance. Even though I told Tom I'd do it, I don't want to do it.
And why don't you?
Because I don't fucking like the way these characters look. I mean, I don't mean to be mean to the people who design these characters. So please don't take offense, whoever did this. But I don't like it. I don't. It's going to take a lot of effort for me on this one to make it into something I do like. I don't like the way they look. And I think I have some... I can say I reason why, because I did do all the initial designs for this book. So I think, you know, if I do the initial designs and someone later on comes on and designs some shit I don't like, I can say I don't like it.
Is this the Wild West one you did?
Yeah.
I remember.
So people seem to love these characters, so what do I know, you know? But I don't know. It's not horrible, I just don't get it, you know? But, you know, when it comes to design, Brandon, I have very specific... You know this. I have I get an idea in my head, and I have a way of designing, and I don't much like... You know, the typical way, like, comic book artists, when they design stuff, the typical way they go about it is they draw something and say, that's my design. Like, that's pretty amazing. Now, sometimes that works. Like Jim Cameron, when he designed the Terminator, he drew this endoskeleton coming out the fire. Yeah, okay. Had a nightmare. Woke up in a hazy sweat. Drew that. But we all can't be Jim Cameron, you know? So
I didn't know he was an actual artist until you told me about him.
you should go see all of his art, man. You know? Like for real, he did all the designs for the like Neytiri. That's all him. He all the art. Like he can really draw, man. A matter of fact, you seen Titanic
Yep.
when Jack is drawing Rose?
Yep.
That's Cameron drawing.
Did not know that either.
Yeah.
I'm just learning and learning.
And trying to figure out where I put all my reference. I might have put it on another computer. So let me check that computer. I'm gonna turn this music up just a little bit because I need to hear the SketchCraft too.
Because he doesn't want to hear me.
Sometimes I like this. I like to hear. I actually like the theme. I actually like the music. I was a big fan of that movie, American Beauty, when it came out. And it has a very American Beauty feel to it. Today is my last day on Earth. Do 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 do. It's my kind of shit. Bum, 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 bum. Where did I put that stuff? Render, Seagate, pictures, new pictures, pictures. Do, 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 do. Maybe it's here. Asset, pictures, VLC snaps. Here we go. So, okay. Folks, I really should have been more
Prepared.
prepared for this.
I caught you off guard, though. You weren't really planning to stream, and I was just like, hey.
Well, I was getting started on this, so I'd be doing this right now either way. Like, this is what it's like, folks. Make sure you look at the chat window in case anyone drops it. I haven't advertised this, by the way, so I don't expect a ton of people. Like, they don't show up unless I say to everyone, hey, I'm fucking streaming,
Right. Let's see. Turn off my phone. Let's see. Shut on. Okay, it's working.
Dropbox, SketchCraft. I gotta create a new folder. Oz cover dev. New folder. Drop. Paste. Copy. Paste. Like, I asked Tom, I was like, hey man, so what's going on in the story? He's like, it doesn't matter, just draw some shit from Oz. I'm like, what's in Oz? I don't know what's in Oz. I don't read these books, man. I remember the movie, and I hate it. Like, I'll be honest, folks, I did not like The Wizard of Oz. It's not that I didn't like it when I was a kid. I thought it was fun. But my fucking mom loved it so goddamn much. I had to watch. It was like that fucking movie, every year they play on TV.
Right.
And every year, no matter what, it's like, Rob, you gotta watch this. Please don't make me watch it again. I mean, I did watch it in 3D. I thought they did a wonderful 3D conversion of that film, Brandon. Honestly. But I don't care about the movie, so, like, there's that problem.
Right.
I did like the idea of it being a Western. Unfortunately, pretty much all the development I did in terms of how the environments would look just kind of went right out the window, So, so being that it may, I'm just going to come up with something I'd like to paint from some color schemes I've been looking at for a while, And I don't really care if they fit or look anything like what's in the book. So.
Rebel.
I'll tell you what I'm not doing, looking at other covers. I hate that shit. Especially when some of the other cover artists go, you looked at my stuff, you made it, like, whatever. Get off your high horse. Like you invented art. Everyone's like, why am I looking at a piece of black square?
Right.
I'm like, I'll get to it, folks. I took a bunch of screen caps from. I really like the color palettes in Brother Bear. If you remember that movie, fucking movie's pretty stupid. It meant well, but the bad story and shit. And it was like they were trying to emulate Pixar without knowing what Pixar does story wise. They even did like the outtakes at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, at the end where they're
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. But they didn't do it very well. But the color palettes are amazing in that film. Yeah. They all like
Did you?
they're not like Sargent. Was it John Sargent? Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he's the guy who painted a lot of the West. Like it was, the entire movie looks like his art. You're saying?
Did you happen to mail out my sharpener and?
Not yet. I'm doing it.
Okay,
It's getting there.
that's fine. I was just using the colored pencils, and I was like, oh shit, that's right. I don't have my sharpener.
Yep.
The joys of con.
I told you wouldn't remember.
Mm.
Got to keep your shit separate from now on. When we pack up at con, you shouldn't have to worry about it because you know what? You're not gonna remember. I'm not gonna remember. You're not gonna remember. I mean, I'm just now getting back. Like I won't lie, Brandon. I think from now on, after we do a Comic Con, I'm not doing shit for a week. I mean, a normal job like yours where you're just moving furniture would be helpful, but creatively, I'm fucking drained, dude. I'm not even gonna expect you to do anything the week after from now on. By the way, because if I can't do it, then I don't think you should be forced to. So after we get back from Vegas, you got that week off.
Yay!
If I catch you doing art, you're in trouble. See how that works?
Yay!
You better not be fucking drawing. I don't care what offers you got. You don't do shit. You're taking that time off.
I guess. I'll just have to play video games or something. Ugh.
Yeah. I'm one of those few people that have to force myself not to draw.
Mm. I will admit though, since con and the people digging what we got going on here, it's definitely
Oh, you
kept me
like the
more
compliments?
motivated.
Yeah, it's more motivating when people give you compliments and
It's more motivating. People want to buy the art.
Right. When they want to buy.
It's like
You don't have to like convince them.
yeah, it's nice to not want. Plus, I don't want to keep it. It's like, oh, you want it? Sure.
All right. So let me open up this Dropbox. Yeah, but you know that whole guys, I'm open for commissions. That don't do that. I mean, unless you're Joe Mad.
Right.
It's just like whatever. Just start drawing shit and say you sold it. People will want one. I do like this idea of a gold kind of color scheme, but the problem is one character's gold and the other character's a fucking tiger with the bear's body. So
That's a lot of
it's a
of
lot of
brown.
gold. Yeah, I know. I don't care. Maybe I'll do an all brown. I've never done an all brown cover. It's different for Rob. Look, I'm talking about myself in third person. It's amazing. Let me see.
I think this is I don't want to say peppiest, but the most.
I'm like this a lot of times, Brandon. And you'll see how much nicer I get when you start drawing. You keep doing what we're doing, a nicer Rob comes out. You fuck up.
All right.
The pain is yours. You choose this pain. I kind of already did something like that. I like the idea of ice. I don't know if there's any ice in his world, but don't care. It is a western, right? So things get snowy.
They can go through snowy mountains.
I don't know. I wish he would just tell me what's going on in this fucking story. He has before, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's all like top secret. It's like this now, you know, like I don't even tell them I stream this shit because they'd always tell me no. Like, who cares? So important. All right. Just organizing my shit here, folks. It'd be funny if I just left this on when I do the speed videos, you know?
It's just like a good 3 minutes of just
Yeah.
black screen.
Sometimes it just it sits there for like 5 minutes when it's sped 12 times. I'm like, I might as well just let that sit there for an hour. You know, I have to trim all that shit out. All right. Saturation. All right, let's just start sketching some stuff in. Dum, 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 dum. 50, 10. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I really don't. I think it'll be like a forest, maybe. That's like an idea I have. They'll just be in the forest. I don't know what. I don't know what.
Yeah, the clock guy riding the
He's
bear.
I don't know.
Like
They have that one, and it's really bad.
I think you should go with like a City Slickers montage kind of thing.
No.
Not montage, but a homage.
No.
You remember that movie with Billy Crystal?
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm just naming off mountain shit. Mountain movies.
Thanks, Brandon.
You're welcome.
It's good practice anyway, because I gotta start getting landscapes going again. Remember those?
Right. Yeah. Usually I got some kind of questions or topic, but nothing at the moment.
Drat.
Huh?
I said bummer.
I watched that Collider video, so I'm all ready for tomorrow.
Oh, good. You see what I'm saying, though, right?
Fuck, man.
Plenty to talk about, right?
Ugh.
Yeah.
That was a struggle. to sit through.
Then we'll talk about it then.
Yeah. I don't think any video podcast thing should go over an hour or hour and a half.
This show usually lasts 1 hour, but yeah, with hey LIFO, it just sort of
Kept going.
yeah, like no one would stop him from talking. Let me tell you this, brother. And let me tell you this, brother.
Is that the host with the beard and the
That's Schnapp,
crazy
dude.
hair?
Yeah, John.
Is he?
He's cool.
I don't like him.
He created Metal Oculus.
I don't know if I don't see. I think I have to watch more of him to know
He's
if I
fucking
like
awesome. He reminds me of you, actually. He's
Yes.
awesome. You gotta watch the Death and Return of Superman fucking shit, man. I sent that to you.
I have it.
Yeah.
I'll get to it.
Schnepp is awesome. He created
Like-
Metalocalypse. He's hilarious.
Huh. Maybe I mean it was mostly the beginning with the like coming at you with my hands and I'm talking and here I go.
Yeah, get over it, dude. You know, it's a good show. You'll see.
Hey Garland. Garland says, "Hey guys,
Hey, what's up, dude?
hey back." I should probably scan that in. I gotta grab my scanner. I'll be right back. I had to move it, so 1 second.
Sometimes it's easier just to work really zoomed out. You're just trying to kind of figure out what you're doing.
And I'm back, everybody.
No, Schnepp is awesome. He's the one who came up with that term sweaties. That's what he calls Comic-Con.
I'll have to give him
geeks.
another. I'll have to give him another
Sweaties.
try.
He's the best, dude.
Alright.
He went broke making that Superman thing, dude. That guy is in it to win it. So. He's the only one who picked Deadpool to do 100 mil 3 months ago. Opening
Right.
weekend.
It's what is that? $4.90 now.
Well, yeah, but it did 491 worldwide. But yeah, it did. But he said opening weekend it would do 100 mil. You know, and everyone was like, no, and he was like, yeah, dude, fucking Star Wars would do 300 million open weekend, and everyone was like, no, and it was like I like really close, you know, missed it by like 4 mil or some shit. It was crazy. I like Schnipp. He's actually in Ferris Bueller.
Really?
Yeah, when they're doing the when he's on doing the twist and shout out there in Chicago, at the end, right? Matthew Broderick, twist and shout, come
Hmm.
on, come on, come on, come on, and they're like, come on, come on. If you look, little John Schnepp's right there going, yeah, and he looks, he's had no hair forever, poor guy. Yeah, he's right there. I like John Schnepp. Oh, you saw the Comic Con podcast. Yeah, I think Brandon learned some important lessons too.
We all we all walked away with something from that. And if anybody watching this has not yet watched our Sketchcraft live about Comic Con recap, go do so. It's very entertaining. Very
I'll put a card.
very
I'll put a card in the video.
very informative.
You know what cards are?
Nope.
They're little tags so it can suggest what you see.
Oh, okay.
Really easy to see on the mobile. More easier to see on the mobile than on the desktop version. But I've been putting those in all the videos now.
Nice.
So like when Art Tips video starts, I put a playlist card in there for the entire Sketchcraft Live library. Or when we're talking about something, I'll go in and throw, you know,
Yeah.
you may want to go see this, and I'll put that in there. You can put up to 5 per video. So. There's really no wrong way to draw a bunch of foliage. It's a bunch of weird sticks lying everywhere. There's no wrong way to draw that shit. How do you draw grass? You just sketch the shit in. You know? Painting all of it can be a pain if you don't have gradient maps. I've done that. Gradient maps make everything easier. So, I was doing some Game Cave universe development today.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make Sundays my do whatever I want to draw day, unless I have a deadline, just because it's fun. I gotta take a break sometimes. So I was just planning out Game Cave universe shit, and I've been wanting to do something with those gritty pencils, in the future. So I'm like, I want to do my own profit. Fuck drawing profit, right? Like, I mean, maybe at some point I'll do that, but that He-Man thing actually gets a lot of play. The Batman one I did, that gets a lot of love, And I
Yeah.
was like, I could do something like that, but how do I fit into Game Cave? And I'm like, Ghoul Gears, the game, like in that universe, I could do something that looked totally like. And then I was thinking Grimdark. Gonna do Grimdark, dude. So I can have them fighting those robots in the snow because robots are a part of that universe. Killer robots.
Right.
Yeah. John Grimdark. I need names anyway right now. Like I'm writing all the stories, so I'll just create a Grimdark family.
I like how, and I don't know if I should say this for the Deadpool talk about the Deadpool rumors.
No, we'll talk about all that tomorrow.
All
I
right.
don't want to talk about anything that we're going to talk on the cast tomorrow.
Mm,
Find other shit to talk about.
What'd you have for lunch today? I don't know what to talk about. What's the next? Is Batman the next movie coming out? Batman Superman? Is that the next superhero one?
Yeah, runtime was confirmed today.
2 hours and 31 minutes, right?
Yeah.
That's long enough. I thought it was gonna be 2 hours, but I'll take two
It's
and a half
not as
hours.
long as The Watchmen, but yeah, it's close.
All right. Yeah, I saw somewhere they had all the different times where like Watchmen was like 13 more minutes or 9 minutes more or something. But I'm all for it. That just means more story, more stuff,
Let's
and
see.
that's good too because you don't want to see a movie like that condensed into like an hour and 50 minutes or something. Now, I bet if they had their way, it's probably was a 3 hour movie, like chopped out a half hour.
It's probably a 5-hour film, dude. The way Snyder shoots stuff.
I'm sure we'll get a director's cut. Like, I mean, I'm pretty excited to see uh, Batman vs Superman, but seeing the trailer for Suicide Squad and the IMAX, I'm pretty excited for that one. Like, they're just too opposite. You know, one's gritty and comic booky, the other one seems like it has more fun to it. I don't know if it's the comedy aspect, but yeah, I'm for both. What do you think? What do you think Batman Superman would do opening weekend?
Don't know. I mean, it's gonna probably break 100 mil. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not very good at predicting box office. Like, you know.
Yeah, I remember I predicted one time we were talking. I predicted one movie that we both disagreed on, but I got it right. I don't remember, but other than that, I have no idea what it what is good amount, what's bad amount. Does does James Cameron art like his original art sell for like crazy amounts?
Yeah. If he ever sells it, usually he doesn't. But yeah.
Keep keeps it.
Yeah. He did all the concept art for like the Abyss on Well, case in point, like when he was doing Terminator, all the future world, all the future war stuff he did on black paper and color pastel to get all the laser look. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
All that kind of shit. Same
If
for the.
you
Hmm?
if you had the money, would you buy a piece of his art?
No.
Just because you don't need to own it.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess that goes for a lot of art. Like, I mean, I wish I could have like a piece of Joe Mad art, but I know
Dude, his
I
Link
can't.
sketch is 3 grand.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know
You know what I mean?
I couldn't justify spending that much money for a drawing,
Yeah, I
a
grew up a poor
sketch.
kid, man. Like I can't. You know, I'm like, well, I would redraw it. You know what I mean? Like I could recreate. You know,
Right.
but like I can't. I'm always if I won $1 billion tomorrow, I would still act like a. I mean, honestly, I
Oh
think you
yeah.
know me by now. I don't change much. Like, I don't grow as a person.
Right.
So, you know,
Rob would be the worst movie character because there'd be no character development. It'd be the same guy
yeah.
from start to
A
finish.
lot of my friends go, dude, you're like you with more talent. I'm like, yeah. The only thing that's grown is the talent. You know, but me, I don't. Mm.
Right.
But you see it.
Um,
I mean, like I'm not. You know, like I don't have expensive tastes. You know.
right. I think the only thing that would change if I won a bunch of money is I just eat at better places sometimes.
Sometimes, who knows?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how much it would differ. But yeah, when he had the Kickstarter was going, and I was like, I'll just get the digital art book. I'm good. That'd be good enough for me. But but I do love buying art.
I mean, if I guess I did have $1 billion, I would try. Maybe I would try to find a way to get a piece of like Stephen Platt's art from profit. Like it did. That's how bad I am. As you know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, that I would like
Right.
to own. You know, like 'cause I've seen it. You know, like as a kid, I saw it sitting in a collector's booth once and just stared at it. You know, and I don't know what it is, man. It's not like I want my portfolio to look like that. I just something raw and cool about that art. You know, that has came and went. You know what I mean? That doesn't exist today.
Right.
I'm the only guy I know that can like that can pull it off. That has actually, like it's crazy. People get shocked when they see it too. They go, whoa, that's like they go. I'm like, yeah, you know that shit. Oh yeah, man. And his new stuff ain't the same. You know what I mean? Like it's just,
No.
no. Like he stopped drawing that way at that time. Even I remember when he stopped. I mean, Soul Saga's cool, but I still prefer all the way up to Prophet issue 1. I mean, yeah, the anatomy isn't all perfect and shit, but it was raw, man. It was visceral shit. But that's because I grew up with it. It'd be like owning a piece of my childhood, I guess.
Right.
But I'll be honest. What are the biggest myths regarding getting better at drawing? That if you just keep practicing at it, you'll get better. That whole like practice makes perfect. Like you could keep practicing the wrong shit and just get you know
Worse or the
I
same.
the same. I've seen how many people draw exactly the same, and they
Well,
draw
me,
way.
me, me, up until the last
But right,
while.
like I think you have to know. Like the best thing you can do is be your own editor. Know what you're doing right. Know what you're doing not so right, and not from like a artsy fartsy slash. Well, this doesn't look good. It's just what you're trying to accomplish. Like, what's your goal? What are you trying to do? If you're trying to be like a fine artist, like Michelangelo type, then you know what your goal is. If you're trying to be, create '90s styles McFarlane art, then you know what your goal is. And if you're not meeting that goal, you have to be able to look at your stuff critically. Like I always say, if you can't see what it is you're doing, then I don't know how you're supposed to get there.
Right.
But yeah, just that fact that you'll just, well, if you just keep practicing, someday you'll get like, oh, shut up. And then I love the crap. Like I remember when I was a kid. I've told this story before, but when I was a kid, I remember sitting at this big family thing, my stepmother, and some old guy or one of her uncles or shit came up to me, saw me drawing, and I had rotated my sketchbook because it was a character flying upside down like a Superman or something.
Hmm.
And he was like, a real artist doesn't have to rotate the page. And so I was like, oh wow, I mean, he must know some shit. He's old, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, a real artist doesn't have to rotate the page. After about an hour, I'm like, it doesn't look fucking right. You know, and I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, well, maybe I'm just not a real artist, and I don't know. And then I saw this documentary at Disney like a few days later, and on animation boards they can rotate the
Right.
animation. They rotate it. I'm like, oh, fucking fuck you, Mister. Artists rotate the page. It's ridiculous. Some guy who doesn't draw ever. You know what I mean? Maybe he did once a long time ago, or knows some colored pencils or some shit. This guy fucking laid roof. You know what I mean? Like, gonna sit there and tell me what real artists do. You know? So, well, you know, I'm not a real artist. I'm rotating the page. You know. I can't say I do a lot of it these days, but when I was younger, it helped. Who
Right.
cares? Who cares? Rotating the page ain't gonna make you a worse artist. It's okay. Like these days, it would be these guys that are like, you can only. I've seen a couple different ways. You have these guys that say, you can only work with like 6 layers in Photoshop, or 1 layer in Photoshop. A real artist only needs 1 layer. I'm like, fuck you guys, And then the other one, and I've seen this. This one drives. This one's crazy, Brandon. I think it's borderline from an art standpoint. And I hate to use this term, suicidal, but um, you can only save like once. You know what I mean? Or do the whole piece with no saving.
Right.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, my art is not a roguelite. You know what I mean? You know what a roguelite is,
Yeah.
Brandon? Like it's
No.
those games where you just permadeath,
Uh huh.
where once you're dead, the character's gone forever, so you gotta start over.
Right.
Like that's not what I'm in this for.
Yeah. Pass. Pass on that.
Kyle's like, no matter how much he rotates his page, the art's still terrible. It's funny. Yeah, but Kyle, you can take a good picture. You know how many people can't do that? And when you think about it, Kyle gets paid to take pictures. How many people can do that?
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a couple different versions. There's a lot of green forest covers for these Oz books. I wonder why.
No clue.
Hey, go, Rob, we got a lot of green covers. Can you do something else? Like, motherfucker, I asked you before I fucking
Right.
started. uh, hey, Kyle, I'm probably just gonna draw your Rick and Morty piece in Copics and color pencil and stuff, man. I don't feel like painting it in watercolor now. I'm gonna keep my watercolor to Saucy only.
Kyle says, "Fuck you, man." No, I'm just kidding. He said whatever you want.
And he's like, just get it done, dude. I have been sketching it out. It's cool, man. I'm gonna be cramming in quite a few characters. He was like, oh, I don't know, I mean, I know, because I limit one character usually, but
Right.
that episode's the one where everyone's in the house. I'm like, I gotta draw some of these characters. Pencil Vester and
I like Hammer Eye.
Hammer Eye, yeah. The Frankenstein dude.
Like a photography raptor.
Yeah, for the photography raptor. So, I'll be able to do these landscapes all right, Brandon. It's gonna be a whole lot
Yeah,
easier than 3 years ago.
I think you're kind of decent at them.
With the quick ones.
Right.
You know how hard those were back in the day?
And Kyle says, "No rush. Whenever you get time." Don't say that, Kyle. I waited 2 years. I waited 2 years for
No one's gonna have to wait 2 years, all right?
a
Stop it with
Daredevil that
that.
I never
Stop
got.
because you wanted the saucy thing, and I wasn't comfortable drawing multiple characters in saucy form, all right?
And I would tell
Like,
Rob,
like I
"Hey
told,
man, no rush. Whenever
yeah,
you guys,
no, no,
whenever
no,
you
it's all
guys."
getting done here, all right? I'm on schedule, okay? Like I'm behind because of that stuff, but I'm on schedule past that, so okay. I didn't plan on my mom dying again, dude. So thanks, Brandon.
Oh, yeah, you dick.
I hate to use that, but it's the truth. So.
You dick.
Anyhow, so everything's
Yeah.
on time. But
Well, see, that's why I cornered you at the Comic Con. I put my sketch when Rob does a warm up at Comic Con. He always does it on scrap paper to show people, not scrap, but a piece of paper to see what he's selling and such. This time, I put my sketchbook right in front of him. Like, hey, you should sketch on this. I was very,
then you didn't get the character you wanted.
you know
That was
what? It did.
hilarious.
It's still shit. What was the character I wanted?
Daredevil.
Yeah, but I also wanted like a Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. I wanted so many. It doesn't matter. I got one of my top fives anyways.
So
My
what you're
number two.
saying is instead of paying you from now on, I can just sketch you something in your sketchbook.
Uh, no.
Yep.
I just wanted you once in my sketchbook. See, I just want some artists maybe once or twice. Which if you want to do a second one, that's fine. I got Eddie's in there twice. Eddie Nunez, but that's only because the first one that I liked the drawing he did, but it's not a character I would have liked. But he didn't charge me because he was borrowing my markers throughout the show. So I was just like, yeah, man, I'll sketch you something. And he did like a Joker. And it looks cool, but it's just not, I'm not like, oh, yeah, the Joker. But this time I was like, hey, I want a Raphael because I like his turtles. They're a good mix of old school and not so much giant buffed out guys, new one, but they still have that cool street feel. He puts like it looks cool. So yeah, but like you, I'd have you sketch in my sketchbook again. There's not a lot of people I'd have go twice, but you did a badass crow, so I was happy. And the crow obviously is it is my all-time, besides Raphael, favorite character. Right up there with Daredevil and Batman.
Skylanders. Well, who knows what's going on with Skylanders, man? That game did not sell well.
Hey man, but there was a lot of people at the Comic Con knew who it was. A lot of parents because their kids play it.
No one bought a fucking Skylanders print, so I won't be bringing
No,
those prints back.
no.
Waste of fucking space.
Yeah, never again on those. But
Grimdark.
that's the term they use for the new Batman movie, right?
It's the term they use for anything that's all grim and gritty. Grimdark. I'm gonna do it.
What for Spider-Man's webs? on the Copics. Should I use a just like a light gray, like a cool gray or something?
I almost think you should use pencil or something that you can keep really thin. I don't think they should all be there. If you look like the Creature Box guys, like when they drew them, they didn't connect every little line on Spider-Man's and shit. I think you should kind of look at that. Because if you connect every line, he's going to end up looking weird. You understand what I'm talking about?
On the webbing.
Yeah.
Well, I
He's
already
on his
drew
body.
there.
Did you ink
Oh,
every
oh,
little web line on
no,
his body?
I'm talking about the webs he's sitting on.
Yeah, you should just use the grays.
Oh yeah, I was thinking. Well, I don't even like drawing his webs, but I get what you're saying. Maybe just on the fingers, around the fingers, maybe around the center of the face, or wherever.
Yeah,
Or I guess
not
I'd
every
probably go
little
where
one.
would I go? I'd probably go where it's darker, right, and not where it's the brightest light source, because that would fade out.
Right.
Okay. 10-4. I'll look at their thing when I get to that. I mean that'll be last anyways. That'll be with the um, black pen. Got the hiccups or something. Uh, cool gray number 1. Have you ever bought any of your own covers from a comic book store or magazine covers
Only the
from your
Cupid
kid?
one. Only the Cupid one. And that was because it was sitting on a shelf next to McFarlane's Wizard World 1992 Comic Con special signed. And that was the one wizard I always wanted, and my dad wouldn't buy me at that convention.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it's sitting right next to that. And I said, fuck it, they're meant to be. So I bought both.
Nice.
I bought my shit and his shit at the same time. I was like, you
Wait,
know,
was that the Spider-Man with the magic hat one?
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a
There was
good
a
one.
special Comic Con edition one. I was there at con. My dad wouldn't get me, and I was like, "That's all they want." He's like, "No." It was like it's like $20. He only wanted me to spend 10. You know what I mean? It's like, thanks, Dad. You know, compared to what people spend on their kids, you know what I mean? Like my dad, he had the money. Put it that way. You know, he just I had $10 spending limit, so I got the Batman soundtrack, the Danny Elfman one. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I found a copy of the Dark Knight Returns book 4 where he fights Superman. That was like the soundtrack was $9 and it had $1 and I found it in the $1 bin.
Nice.
But I can only get the one. I was like, well, destroy the parts. He's like, oh, you can only get one. I'm like, nah, I get the one with Superman. So I didn't get to read the first third of the Dark Knight Returns until 2 years later. You know?
By the way, if you download the Batman vs Superman soundtrack, send it my way.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fan versions of it running around the internet right now. Everyone thinks it's real. It's not.
Yeah, I'll wait till the real one's out. I like. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to talk about that movie yet. I like Junkie XL. He did Mad Max also, right?
Yeah, he also did Deadpool.
Yeah, that's why. I didn't want to say that because we're talking about it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
but we won't talk about what we think about it. But yeah, he did that as well.
Yeah, I liked it. In fact, I'm gonna add that to
He did
my.
that. Remember that song, the Elvis remake, "Little Less Conversation"? Remember
Yeah.
that? That's him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So when he
Yeah.
was here doing an apprenticeship, he took no money because when he went to go see Blade, right?
Uh huh.
The first Blade movie, and you know that rave scene where all that techno music is playing?
Right.
That's his music.
Oh,
But he
nice.
didn't put that in there. He didn't even. He's like he was just sitting there and his shit was playing. He's like, whoa, they just used it, And he was like, man, that made him really want his music in movies. So he took an apprenticeship with one of Zimmer's guys, and then the same summer that his shit was on the radio.
Oh, nice.
So he's like, yeah, here I am, like doing grunt work, and my shit's playing on the radio, and I'm getting paid like nothing. Like I'm living in a
Right.
hole. Like,
Uh,
and he turned down an internship at Hans Zimmer Studios for a long time, and then he came back. So
let's see. Kyle says, I really like the white splatters on the Leo piece Brandon did. Looks like a starry night. Was that the intent? Uh, well, yes and no. Like I used to use a lot of a lot of splatters when I used to do canvas paintings. I used to take spray paint, I'd pour it in the cup and splatter it on the canvas. No control whatsoever. And over time, I kind of stepped away from because Rob's like, you're just muddying up your piece. It's just too much. And then with Rob's help, he said, basically control it. So I would take, a piece of cutout paper and cover up Leo and just kind of tap the brush to give it a nice standout spot in those dark areas just to pop it out. And just Rob's been showing me just less is more sometimes. So little things like that, instead of doing a lot of splatter, if it's just a little, will really pop out those backgrounds. So a lot of people have been liking that, where it's got I did the dark blue to the light blue with the colored pencils, blended it, and then just a little bit of splatter this time. Just little dots. So
but no, he didn't intend for them to look like stars.
not to look like a starry night, no, but just to have that cool pop amidst the blur and darkness. It's good contrast though. Spider-Man's looking pretty good. Do you know how old that guy is, Junkie XL?
Probably his like 40s now, mid 40s.
He just has that. He has a real. I want to say, I don't know how to say it best, but like a younger sound. Like he definitely makes has good orchestra sound, but it also has that cool young hip vibe to it.
Young,
So
hip. Good job, Brandon. You say I'm old. Young and hip.
whatever. So I'm pretty sure Heath Ledger's your favorite Joker, right? So far.
No, Mark Hamill.
All right, live action Joker, Heath Ledger.
Yeah, I didn't like the Jack Nicholson fat Joker. I like the makeup design, but he was fat. I'm like, I don't get it. He's got a big fat dude. They look cooler when he's wearing that trench coat and shit.
Right.
I like Bob the Goon, big Bob the Goon guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
I was the only kid excited to get a Bob the Goon action figure.
I
Yeah.
think I have the Bob figure too. Are you a Jared Leto fan? Besides him being
Yeah,
Joker, I mean,
ever since fucking um, Requiem for a Dream.
yeah. Did you ever see Mr. Nobody?
No.
It's a pretty good movie, or at least in my opinion, it's good. Uh, it's about this man who's like the last living human. Like everybody's not natural living. Like he's the last natural living human now. In the future, where you're so technology, you could live longer. Like you could live 200 years. Anyway, so he's trying to recap his story of his life, but he has dementia basically. So he's telling you like three different versions of his life. Like if he would have went with this girl to marry her, and etc. It's a little off the wall, but it's worth a watch if you ever have some time. You might like it. I think you might not, but I didn't think it was bad because I like Jared Leto. I think he's a good actor and good singer.
Well, I'm saying they cast a guy who goes on stage and performs. You know what I mean? You couldn't get a better guy to play Joker. When you think
Right.
about it, you know,
If you
like,
want somebody over the top and not afraid to push it, yeah.
yeah. And he can act. It's not like Mick Jagger and Free Jack. Remember that?
No.
I mean, I knew him as an actor before. I mean, he was in that Claire Danes fucking thing. Remember My So-Called Life?
Nope. I know the show. I just never
Yeah,
watched it,
that
but
was him. That was sort of ahead of its time too.
all right. It's 11:40. I gotta go shower and get ready for bed. Hey, talk to you tomorrow on the cast or during the day.
Yep.
All right, sounds good. Night, everybody. Bye bye.
Wouldn't have cast Mark Wahlberg as the Joker. You're being facetious. No, I wouldn't have cast Mark Wahlberg as the Joker. Although I like him in The Big Hit. Big fan of that movie. This fucking dude doesn't even do anything. I don't know what to do. Cover. I gotta do cover Ruffies for Oz. Some TikTok book. But fucking he doesn't do guns. They don't have the book done yet. They couldn't give me stories, so I don't know. Yeah, he just sent me some of their covers. And these characters vary in size depending on who draws them, so. Maybe I'll just grab that one sketch I did. I already did a quick sketch. I'll go two different ways. I'll try this one. Let no sketch go wasted, right? So that'll be one idea. I'll take that further in a second. I gotta ask Tom if he's dude uses a gun or if I could do something like that. Let me block in their basic color ways. Because I'm just going to do them standing there, to be honest with you, man. I got nothing for these characters. Hmm. All right. So Mr. Meeseeks. Any particular reason why I stopped? Shit got expensive, dude. Like it was getting to the point where the quality, like Marvel, like I really liked the Ultimates when it first started. Mark Millar, all that stuff. And then it was getting worse and worse. And eventually, like, remember they did like that spoof of like Batman? And it was this big inside joke between the head of Marvel and like some other distributor, his Birdman thing with Duck and Forgetto. It was just getting really weird. And then I had this moment, right when I started really freelancing. I walked into a comic shop and I just felt like, it almost felt like Unbreakable, where like I touched all the comic book racks and I just saw like this huge wave of competition sitting in front of me. And like I just didn't want to look at it anymore. And to be honest, they weren't really inspiring me the way comics used to. Like it was a lot of creator owned stuff that inspired me, and that really went away in the early 2000s. Like didn't come back until Kickstarter. I'd have backed Kickstarter comics, but yeah, I bought a few things here and there, like when Jim Lee would draw Batman or Capullo came back to draw Batman, stuff like that. But like I mostly watch like anime is my big thing, man. Like and manga collections like Full Metal Alchemist and stuff. So and indie games and things. To be fair, I never really bought a lot of comics. I bought Image, I bought Bone when it went to Image. you know. I still buy like stuff from artists, like like the Creature Box guys, and I collect things like when they do, like when they get around to like when Spawn got printed in black and white. I bought that. Same with the Savage Dragon editions that were like in black and white. But comic storytelling is just it's hard for me, man. Like I like books. That's like with GameCube I was able to, I'm able to tell a bit more. Monthly comic is tough, man. I wish, we get so caught up in like art styles and stuff. It's like um, when they go, "Oh, anime, manga, all looks the same." I'm like, "Well, so do American comics. They all look the same." No, I've lived overseas and you don't accidentally mistake, American comics look like American comics. European comics look like European comics. They just do, like no matter where you go. So I just wish they were focused more on storytelling and less on like, you know, all these details and shit. Yeah. I like the old kind of like X-Men stuff. But I got a lot into that because Jim Lee was the artist and then, the cartoons and stuff. So, like animation and the Max cartoon and that's why I don't do interior art, you know. And the way I'm laying out the sequentials in Game Cave, it's more like storyboards anyhow. So, which I like. I can focus less on trying to draw every little thing and just draw what matters. But the comics that I was reading when I was overseas were things like Girl Scouts by Mahfood. And I really like, when Kevin Smith was writing at Oni, like the Jay and Silent Bob comics were great. Comics like Coffin. And that shit went away by 2005. It's gone. Everything became the Transformers comics and, you know, Transformers Armada and fucking Voltron comics and like the last comic I really fucking ran to the store to get, other than but before Capullo and Batman would be in between that and 2005 would be when Paul Pope did that Batman Year 100. I thought that shit was fucking amazing. But Spawn stopped being about the shit I like too. Spawn became, I don't know what the fuck it became. Where he's just like a boogeyman and shit. Like I like the angels versus demons and you know when uh when Medina stopped drawing it and that guy, I think it was Haberlin. I mean, good colors, but when it started looking all like when it started looking like Alias, like David Mackish. I'm like, I like David Mack, but I don't want my Spawn looking like David Mack, so I got out. The last great comics I bought, like at cons and stuff, were like Hero Bear and Owlie. I thought those were fucking genius when they came out. Now I buy Full Metal Alchemist archives and fucking even Japanese versions and shit just so I have them. Like Nichijou. Yeah, it was fun, man. I was hoping more from when he did that Shazam thing. I mean, it was drawn well, but I was hoping it'd look more, I don't know, like a big animated thing. But I still have their original stuff from their 2001 cons and stuff. Yeah, but the kind of comics I used to like buying just went away. Things like Crimson and Leave It to Chance, and it all became about, Civil War and heroes, turning in 40 and wearing realistic suits. And, fuck it. They stopped looking like comics and look like glorified. They all look like X-Men, the first movie. I didn't care for it. So, still don't. Oh, that's cool. I'll check it out. I'm not familiar with it. But I mean, as you know, I just now got out of all my game fan debt. That's 5 years. I just now threw away the computer I bought that got me into debt to make game fan. So I went through a lot of financial hardship, man, when I got into game magazines and shit. So I really didn't even have the money, to be honest, man. I don't believe in stealing comics. I don't download them. I think that'll work. I'm gonna have to have a couple of colorways. See if I can open up the old covers and grab logos. Grab some of their. I did all the logo design on this shit too back in the day. So, oh shit, that's not what I was trying to do. Something kind of like that. No, where is? I'll just cut out their shit. I brought Chrononauts to trade. You know, it's fun to read, dude. It's just that it reads like there's half the comic missing. You know, he crams a lot in there, which is fine, but it definitely you're like, man, this really should be like. I mean, they're not gonna do 64 pages times 4 issues like The Dark Knight Returns. You know, so you get 24 pages across 4 issues, and so it's like a Nolan movie where they use time compression too much. You know, as an editing technique to the point where it's like it becomes a storytelling technique, and you're like, there's huge gaps missing. All right, we'll save that. And then we'll work on a couple colorways. I don't have more layout ideas for this. There's no story, so I don't know what else to do. Hmm. Eh, nah, it's not work one. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna go this way. Maybe I can try a purpley version. They always want to see two versions. I don't care what they say. It was good. Follow the yellow dandelion road. Follow the yellow dandelion road. I gotta hide that munchkin who hung himself. I gotta Easter egg that in the cover. I know it's a myth, but I gotta work it in there. Put a little squiggle in to remind myself to hide that shit in there. Alright, I think this Ruffy's done. Hey, look at this. Gradient maps to do the color for the Ruffy. So here's the daytime, here's the nighttime, or evening. Daytime, evening. Just gradient maps, flipping back and forth. Hey, look at this. Gradient maps to do the color for the Ruffy. Hey, look at this. Gradient maps to do the color. Yep. Alrighty, so with this, we'll just save as. Make a Webby. Webby. JPEG. 0, 0, 0, A. Turn that on. File, save as. JPEG. 0, 0, B. And then we have to open both those back up. And then I'll run my action script, RGB to CMYK back to RGB. So they look proper. Scheiße. Let me undo that. Come back to this one. Oh yeah, a couple things I gotta do. Let me go here and let's open up. Yeah, it's JJ approved. Later, dude. And that's that. Ruffies are done. Alright, so it's already midnight. I'm gonna catch some early Z's myself and get up. And tomorrow I got commissions to work on. Back to normal schedule. Took enough time to get into my groove. So I'll be back at it tomorrow. We got some Bayonetta to go over and some Rick and Morty to kind of work through. Peace.